I thought about fucking something that would fucking make sense and not waste your fucking time. Not waste your time. We're gonna have to edit it. Not waste your time. But so donating blood, I thought would be a pretty good subject. And the more I researched it, the more it makes sense. Because first of all, you know, blood is pretty freaking important when you need it, right? Like, let's say, you never think about, your blood, right? It's just there. Sort of like the First Amendment, it's just there. You don't have to guard it. You don't have to take care of it really, unless it's in jeopardy. But if I put a freaking knife to your throat and tell you to recite, I don't know, the Soldier's Creed. The Soldier's Creed probably doesn't matter to you either. I mean, who cares? It's just a couple of paragraphs that somebody put together, right? And but if I put a knife to your throat, then all of a sudden the Soldier's Creed is the most important thing in the world. If I'm telling you to recite it, or else I cut your throat. Right? So when you need blood, it's probably the most important thing in your world, right? And blood is only good for 42 days. It's not a very long time, considering about 7 to 8 soldiers are dying every month, and that's a pretty low number. And in Afghanistan, it's kind of rising. Now we're losing about 20 to 25 soldiers a month in Afghanistan. It's sort of like taking Iraq's place. So you need blood every 42 days to replenish your daily monthly supply, because you got to overlap, right? You can't just like wait till 42 days are up and then start replacing it. So every month you got to come up with about 15 million units, what they call them, of blood. And the great thing about Fort Hood, Red Cross, they're over here on 1625 Randolph Road. That's over there by Clear Creek PX. Is that it's 4 soldiers, 5 soldiers. All right? So the blood they collect is, primarily goes to Afghanistan and Iraq. So think about it this way: you can get a little something back. You get a day off. I'm sure Sergeant Knapp will agree that you can have the rest of the day off and donate blood. And the great thing about going here is that they already consider you, pretty much a safe specimen. If you go downtown, you waste an hour doing like a little mini physical, and then about 15 minutes giving blood. If you go down here, it just takes you 15 minutes, depending on the wait time. And right now, there's not a blood drive that I know, so you should be able to just arrive, sign in, about 5 minutes, you get seen, get your blood. 15 minutes later, you're out. Get the rest of the day off. If I was you, I'd make sure I do it, early in the morning. Because when they have a blood drive, when we send soldiers down there about 09, they sometimes don't get out until about 1500. It's not really a day off. But if you do it, like right now, 15 minutes later, you're gone. Go home, enjoy the rest of your day off. Do it on Friday or Monday. Sounds like a 3-day weekend, right? All right. Couple of facts about blood. Like I said, it's only good for 42 days. If they freeze it, it's good for up to 10 years, but it has to be kept below, 80 degrees below zero. And it's very expensive, very time consuming, and a whole lot of places don't accept blood that has been frozen. All right. Not only do we lose about 20 or 25 soldiers a month, but nowadays, as a lot of people are surviving their injuries, you got 8 times the number of dead surviving the wounds. So 25 times 8, what's that? About 200? About 150 to 200 soldiers getting hurt. And it might be just a scratch, a little nick, flesh wound, or it could be an amputee. And has anybody watched the movie Born on the 4th of July? Good movie, you need to watch it. What's his name? Tom Cruise? Tom Cruise gets shot in Vietnam. I think he gets shot like in the ankle, or they blow out his heel, and he's getting blood transfusions just to save his leg, and it looks like mason jars that they're using, like a water pump or something like that to do the blood transfusion. And I can't remember. Does he lose his leg?
He didn't. I don't think he did.
He didn't?
No.
But he ends up in a wheelchair, right? Yeah. And, so that takes over his life. Had he gotten a good blood transfusion, all right, had Sergeant Griffith not received a tourniquet within minutes of getting shot, and being flown to Germany, like, within a few hours, he probably would have lost his arm. He received powdered blood because it severed an artery. Now, if you donate 1 pint, which is the typical amount that you give, it usually goes to 3 different people, or not different people, but the average person only requires about 1/3 of a pint when they get blood. So, think of it that way. When you give blood, you could be saving 3 people's lives. You can give blood up to once every 2 months, once every 60 days. There's a few things that will disqualify you. None of y'all fit this. If you're anemic, you can't give. If you're like under 110 pounds, you can't give. But y'all look like you can withstand giving some blood. And your blood will, your bone marrow, your body will replace its blood sometime, depending on the individual, within a few days or a few weeks. In fact, 100%. So that's the number, that's the address. If you want a day off, I'm sure Sergeant Apple, if it doesn't give you that day off, it'll probably hook you up later on that road. Same applies to y'all. Y'all give blood, let me know, and we have a day off. Friday, I got you.
You got Saturday off.
That's right. Is there any questions?
Yeah, I was going to say 110 pounds on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just drink a lot of water if you do. And if you're like me, you're broke, it's not payday yet, you don't have any food at the house, they give you a snack afterwards. Alright? So, this Friday is not payday yet, is it?
No.
I might go over there and get my dinner. Alright.